done yet, and it's like, I got things to do, I got people to see, I got shows to do. I was saying to Sharon, the hardest thing I have to bear is the fact that my brain is still there, but my body...
Okay, listen to this. Two total legends from totally opposite ends of the music world, Elton John and Ozzy Osbourne, somehow ended up making a song together. Ordinary Man wasn't just another emotional track, it had this depth, this weight. But wait, there's more. What if the real story wasn't even about the song? What if the most shocking part is what Elton is only revealing now, after Ozzy's gone? Get ready, because this will hit you hard. I mean, who would have thought these two would even be friends, let alone close? You've got Elton, the glitzy piano genius with those velvet suits and that voice that can either melt your heart or blow the roof off a stadium. Then you've got Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness himself, with a voice so raw and raspy it feels like it clawed its way through hell. They couldn't be more different, but they connected. And let's be honest, in the music world, most big stars keep a polite distance. It's not always mean, it's just complicated. There's always this undercurrent of competition, like who's the real icon in the room? That's why when news broke that Ozzy had passed, oh my god, the internet exploded. Everyone turned to Elton. What was he gonna say? Was he okay? But then, nothing. Silence. Elton didn't say a word at first. Not like him, right? Maybe it's because grief doesn't care how big a star you are. It just hits you in the throat, in the gut. Maybe Elton needed a moment, or maybe what he felt was too deep for a quick tweet or soundbite. You see, this wasn't just about losing a colleague. It was about losing someone who became part of his life, someone who saw him without all the glitter and fame. Let's rewind a bit. Before Elton was the karaoke king with hits like Sacrifice or Healing Hands, he was just a little boy obsessed with music. Imagine this, his dad's blasting jazz on the trumpet, his mom's dancing around, and tiny Elton's over there figuring out tunes on his grandma's piano before he could even read sheet music. That's not talent, that's magic. By 7, he was already performing for guests. At 11, boom, Royal Academy of Music. And by the time he hit that stage in LA in 1970, people knew. The crowd at the Troubadour lost their minds. Then he dropped Tumbleweed Connection, and everything changed. Meanwhile, over in Birmingham, guess what was bubbling? Ozzy's world was chaos and genius, all wrapped up in leather and eyeliner. In 1967, Ozzy joined a band called Rare Breed. It fizzled fast, but he didn't stop. Soon he, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, and Bill Ward formed another group, Earth. But after getting accidentally booked as the wrong Earth, they needed a new name. So what did they pick? Oh, just Black Sabbath after a creepy horror flick. And that, my friends, is how metal was born. Their whole vibe was dark, mysterious, even terrifying, and fans ate it up. When Geezer told Ozzy about a shadow figure he saw after reading an occult book, chills, they turned that into lyrics. Their self-titled song, Black Sabbath, literally defined their style. Critics didn't get it at first. Some even called it dumb. But fans? They knew. Their early albums hit hard. Paranoid, a banger. Master of Reality, gold in weeks, then platinum, then double platinum. These weren't just albums, they were movements. But here's the thing no one talks about. Behind all that success, both Elton and Ozzy were carrying demons. Let's start with Elton. Back in the day, he was about to marry his first love, Linda Woodrow. 2 weeks before the wedding, he walked away. Why? Not because he didn't love her, but because something deep inside him knew he couldn't keep living a lie. That moment haunted him. Decades later, when Linda needed help with medical bills, Elton stepped in, no hesitation. That's class. Around the same time, he fell in love for the first time, with John Reid, his manager. That was Elton's awakening, but even that ended in heartbreak. Years later, he married Renate Blauel in this huge ceremony in Sydney. But guess what? On their honeymoon, he told her it was over. Can you imagine? She later admitted it pushed her to the brink. Elton finally came out as gay in 1992. Not bisexual, not maybe, gay. And he faced brutal backlash. But he fought back, won lawsuits, clapped back at tabloids, and when he met David Furnish, he found real love. They've been together ever since. Adopted 2 sons via surrogacy. Elton's now godfather to like half of celebrity kids in the UK, including the Beckhams. He's never shied away from calling out hate. He once said he loved Jesus' teachings but slammed religion for how it treated the LGBTQ community. Elton never played it safe. Now, Ozzy. Oh my God, where do we even begin? In 1981, he was in Germany at a CBS meeting. He climbed on a table, goose-stepped in a dress, peed in a wine glass, and kissed an executive. Total blackout. Sharon, his future wife, said he had no memory of it, and it didn't stop there. The next year in Texas, he drunkenly urinated on the Alamo. In Sharon's dress, he got banned from San Antonio for 10 years. That same day, he assaulted his bandmates in a hotel bar. A month later, his guitarist, Randy Rhoads, was killed in a plane crash. Ozzy spiraled. By 1989, he was so out of it, he tried to strangle Sharon after coming back from Moscow. Arrested again. Rehab Sharon stayed. Doctors once gave him 13,000 doses of pills in a single year. 13,000. His body was breaking down. In 2013, he admitted he'd relapsed again, but apologized again. Through it all, scientists literally studied his DNA because they couldn't understand how he was still alive. Two men, both legends, both broken and rebuilt more times than we can count. And yet, somehow, they ended up in the same room, making music that would haunt us forever. Stay tuned for part 2, where we dive into how they actually made that legendary song together, what Elton revealed after Ozzy's passing, and why their friendship was way deeper than anyone imagined. So, how did Elton and Ozzy, two icons from completely different worlds, end up making magic together? It's wilder than you think. Here's what happened. Ozzy was working on a new album. He hears this one track, Ordinary Man, and guess what he says? This sounds like something Elton would write. I mean, of course he did. That emotional melody, the structure, the vibe, pure Elton. So Ozzy turns to Sharon, who by the way had been friends with Elton for years, and simply goes, "Call him. No games. No delays." Elton was in Atlanta. The producer, Andrew Watt, hops on a plane immediately and shows up with the track. Elton walks in, asks for a chord chart like it's nothing. Watt scribbles it down, hands it over, and what does Elton do? He sits at the piano, slowly goes through the notes. Then boom, records the whole thing in less than an hour. Full takes, no fuss, no drama, like the legend he is. But here's where it gets really crazy. As they're listening back, Elton starts singing along. Not planned, not rehearsed. He just feels it. And Watt? He jumps on it. "Elton, you have to sing on this track." And Elton doesn't even blink. He just says yes and jumps in. He takes the second verse and completely transforms the whole song. That second verse hits different with Elton's voice. It's deeper now than in his youth, more textured, full of life lived and pain survived. It didn't just sound good, it felt like something bigger than all of them. And everyone in the room felt it. Even Chad Smith, yes, the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer, remembers how electric those sessions were. And guess what? Ozzy wouldn't stop talking about the Beatles. The guy known for biting off bat heads was obsessed with melodies, harmonies, and that nostalgic Beatles sound. No one saw that coming. That Beatles-inspired mood shaped the whole album, especially Ordinary Man. It all started with a tiny piano idea from Watt and grew into this huge, sweeping song. Elton's part? Not even planned, but perfect. The song dropped on January 10th, 2020, and it blew everyone away. Critics went nuts. Fans couldn't stop talking about it. Some said it was Ozzy's best work in years, even comparing it to his early solo days or his Black Sabbath prime. And Elton? He got his first spot on Billboard's mainstream rock chart in 27 years. His last time on there was with Eric Clapton back in 1992. That record got broken later. But still, what a comeback. The music video was heartbreaking. Ozzy, alone in a theater, watching clips of his own life. It felt like a goodbye, but we didn't want to believe it. So how did Elton and Ozzy really get that close? Long before that song, Ozzy's health was already slipping. He still hit the studio, still made music, but behind the scenes, he was struggling. After a fall at home post-New Year's Eve performance, things got worse. Surgery messed with his nerves, and he wasn't the same. Then came the real shock. Ozzy was diagnosed with a rare form of Parkinson's called PRKN2. Sharon stayed strong beside him, but there were bad days. Ozzy couldn't fake it anymore. He was tired of pretending, tired of lying. Tours were canceled, meds piled up, pain grew, but he kept fighting. And while others pulled away, Elton John didn't. Sharon said he kept calling, visiting, even bringing his sons. He made Ozzy laugh when no one else could. Reddit fans remembered Elton was the only friend who showed up during Ozzy's rehab. He stayed loyal, just like he did for Freddie Mercury. Ozzy showed signs of recovery, walking again with a cane after brutal physio. But then rumors started. Ozzy's dying. His daughter Kelly shut it down, and still Ozzy pulled off one last concert, July 5th in Birmingham. On a throne, unable to stand, he performed his final show. Then came July 22nd. Ozzy Osbourne was gone at 76. Elton spoke first. He called Ozzy a trailblazer, a dear friend, and one of the funniest people he'd ever met. Fans and artists mourned. Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones realized that final show had truly been a goodbye. Ozzy died where it all began, home in England, with Sharon by his side. They'd moved back to Buckinghamshire for peace. He wanted people to know. His voice was still strong, but his body just couldn't keep up. and Elton later revealed the side of Ozzy most never saw, the warm, thoughtful man beneath the madness. Their bond only deepened as Ozzy's health declined. Elton stayed close because he saw him, not just the icon, but the human. Weeks before his last performance, Ozzy and Black Sabbath were honored by Birmingham, named Free Men of the City. That final concert, it brought everything full circle. He started there. He ended there. When Elton finally spoke, he shared what the world needed to know. Ozzy wasn't just a rock god. He was a friend, a fighter, a father, a husband, a man who never gave up. Now tell us, did you ever imagine their friendship ran this deep? Let us know below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories.